Somebody help me answer this question. Is Amber Rose black? We all know that she doesn't want to identify as black, and she's smart enough not to mention that she doesn't identify as black. She just said that she identifies as biracial. But we want the specifics here, Amber. Are you black or palm-colored? So to clarify, Amber Rose has not explicitly stated that she is not black. Instead, she identifies as biracial and embraces all aspects of her cultural heritage. And we're going to talk about her cultural heritage, which is a little bit confusing in a moment. The internet's reaction to her statements has been mixed, with some supporting our right to self-identify, palm colors of course, and others expressing frustration. And the frustration is most likely coming from brothers and sisters from the black community who feel the need to talk about this because she's acting as their representative. And I must say that you, my brothers and sisters, are quite in your right for speaking out because she's representing your community and you gotta air out your views as well. I'm not gonna waste much of your time. Here are the reactions.
You all remember when I told you that Amber Rose here had fully endorsed Donald Trump for president, and she was also a keynote speaker at the Legion of Doom convention. The Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And she was used to appeal to black audiences, allegedly. And I said, that sounds crazy. Well, it seems like Joy Reid agreed, and she said the following.
So it's ironic that they were able to recruit this young woman who, she's a racially ambiguous. I don't want to say she's black because she has said she's not. So I don't want to say this black woman, this woman who is of whatever race that she has claimed.
So Amber Rose here, and I have this because I take pictures of people's accounts before I comment on their post and get blocked. So Amber Rose did not like what Joy Reid said. She took to her X account and said the following. And she added Joy Reid in it. Hi, Joy Reid. I've never said I wasn't black. I said I identify as biracial. I'm not going to invalidate my white father to make you feel more comfortable. Stop being a race baiter. Your president does enough race baiting for all of us. So I saw that and I took the opportunity to post the following video in response to her response to Joy Reid. And I'll tell you what happened after you watch this video.
You think that's how people perceive you, and is that how you perceive yourself?
I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not.
So I tried to access her account later and check the messages in accordance to the video I put up, and of course I couldn't. And then I come to find out that the tweet had been deleted.
We at the black delegation has agreed with the white delegation. We all agreed that you can have Amber Rose for no future draft pick. We asked one thing. She never returned back to the black community. We want to give you a deal just like we gave Jim Scott. We don't want anything in return. You can have her. The only thing we agree in our terms is she never returned back to the black community. We at the black delegation have agreed to your terms. We don't want her back. She should never come back 5 years, 10 years from now. All the other black delegates around the world, if you agree to this term, type an amen.
Problem is that you really don't even want to be black. Jocelyn!
You're completely right. And Jocelyn was completely correct to call her out on this. See, Amber Rose doesn't like black people, but she likes to profit off of us. If she can sleep around with a wealthy black man to get some money, then she'll do that. But the idea of her being a black person absolutely repulses her. And most people are way too nice to say this to her face. Jocelyn's never been guilty of being nice, though. So when she stands on stage trying to use her black ancestry to con black people into voting for a white supremacist, just know if you're black, she doesn't like you unless she can use you. And right now, she thinks she can use you.
So this video is going to be for the sisters. I do not speak for them. Black women are more than capable of speaking for themselves, but I wanted to give a little insight to all of those white women that likes putting in box braids and the woe Vickies of the world and the white women that talk with a black accent, and then have the temerity to come on social media and ask, unironically, ask black women why they can't do it. I have two words for you. Amber Rose. Oh, did y'all think the Amber Rose slander was going to stop when she spoke at that book? But this one is going to be one of those visualization things. So, white women, the next time you ask that question, I need you to look at Amber Rose very carefully, okay? Now, I am not saying anything untruthful in this video. She has said it herself. Amber Rose comes from a mixed race background and does not claim to be a black woman in no way, shape, or fashion. Yet, she has been mimicking black women since she came on the scene. She has. All mannerisms, what she perceived black women to be, Amber Rose mimicked it. Right? But she does not claim being a black woman. She will tell you in a heartbeat she's biracial, and that is her right to do so as an American citizen and as a human being. But she had no problem milking black culture for everything she could get out of it. Only to then turn around, and she did this, again, not making this up, go look it up. She went after Joy-Ann Reid because Joy-Ann Reid on MSNBC, after she spoke, said, I don't think anybody in the black community, I don't think anybody is taking their political tips from Amber Rose, which is an absolute truth. Nobody is looking at her as the scion of political savvy. They're not. Sorry. But she goes to Twitter to call Joy-Ann Reid a race baiter. Hold up. Is that not been your entire whole existence on social media there, Amber? Since you came on the scene, have you not been the sort of person that mimics blackness, puts no investment in blackness, just takes from blackness, and then when you get the opportunity to own blackness, is that not what you did? The minute she put out that tweet, people went and found her, I guess it was a interview that she did, where she literally sat there and said, I am not a black woman. I do not claim to be a black woman. But she had the nerve to accuse Joy-Ann Reid of saying to her that she is betraying her white father and things of that nature. Amber Rose said this. Then she deleted the tweet. So you probably won't be able to find it unless, you know, tech-savvy people screenshotted it and things of that nature. Amber Rose is exactly what black women say when they tell you things like box braids are a protected hairstyle. You're using a black scent. You are acting like the worst stereotypical versions of black women. This is what they're telling you. Amber Rose is the example of this. Woe Vicky is the example of this. Are you understanding now? Is it making a little bit more sense? When black women are telling you that you are insulting black women, you are playing to the worst aspects of black womanhood, y'all take it as a personal slight. It isn't. It's just a reminder that you can wear the clothes, use the mannerisms and things of that nature, but you are not a black woman.
I have to apologize because I remember when I saw this snake with Jocelyn and Amber Rose, I'm like, damn, Amber Rose don't even bother anybody. She's just a gentle soul. And why Jocelyn had to come for her like that? But come to find out, Jocelyn was right. I apologize, Jocelyn. Because honestly, you was right at the whole time. And you know, one thing, you have a mouthpiece with no filter in your mouth, and I should have known better because you're November just like me. And we both born the same date. But the difference is you tell it like it is, and trust me, that's why a lot of people, they hate on us. But honestly, She was right, because guess what? Amber Rose had the same thing like Queenie. And even the character, Halle Berry, no matter how she said, oh, I'm here for my black people, you're right. Because she ended up going to the other side and having children from the other side, and then found out that they treated her just as worse as than the black man did. And then you see her just, somewhere hide away. Because you even hear her doing any actressing or anything like that. She just hide away, all right? Because in the movie Queenie, when she was born, she thought that when she was affiliating with all these white folks and living in the White House, and she didn't even realize that she was a slave. And she was a property. And and the father who she had, was a white man, but guess what? He couldn't claim her. He could just say that she's just property. She mingled with everybody, and as soon as slavery was over, those same white folks, they turn around and act like she didn't did, and they turn around and kick her out of the house. Then when she go with the black folks turn around and looked at her sideways, but guess what? They helped her. Okay? Then she had a nervous breakdown and started acting crazy and everything, because reality hit her that the people that she wanted did not want her. They were only using her for the time being. And the ones that had a society, because her mama was black, she was a high yellow black, she was also a slave at the time, but she thought that the white was the acceptable. And when the white folks believe, if you got a drop of black, you are considered black. They will not consider you to be a part of their own. Whether it was those days versus these days now. So when Jocelyn said to her, she said, you don't want to be black. You don't want to be known as black. You're afraid to hear the word black. But a lot of y'all giving her that energy because she made that speech on behalf of Trump and told them that she's one of them. Right? But how about Doja Cat? She's another one that if you say anything about the darkness of her blackness, she'll go crazy, especially from her hair. Even if you see her having hair on her forehead or any of that stuff. She even shaved her eyebrows. Yeah. Okay. She said she wasn't doing it because of that. It was for something else. Yeah, right. Because she saw a little kinkiness of the eyebrows. So she just shaved that off. Right. It's called the Queenie syndrome. Okay. The Queenie-itis. Wanted to be white so bad and wanted to be accepted white. But guess what? Found ways to be capitalizing to the blacks, just like the commentator said, because the black folks was easy. They welcomed their door. They gave you food and everything, taught you everything and make money off you. But really, in essence, she wanted to win, to be in the black hand side. And another thing that I say about Amber, she's a liar, because that's what Aunt Johnson said. She said, you're lying, and you're lying to yourself. I remember when Amber Rose said her father was black and her mom was white. Then when she said it in the show, I didn't even realize this show they played back. She said her father was white. In the speech, she said, oh, just like my father said. I remember she said that she never seen her father. But the lie just keep on going. But it's okay. They got the Queenie syndrome. Yeah, Queenie.
I hate confusion, and I know that you also don't like to be confused. So let's talk about Amber's background for a moment. So Amber Rose has a rich blend of ethnic backgrounds. Her heritage includes Irish, Italian, Cape Verdean, and Scottish descent. No wonder she's confused. Her parents, Michael Levenchuk and Dorothy Rose, represent this diverse mix. Despite facing financial hardships, Amber's family background has played a pivotal role in shaping her strong work ethic and determination. Yeah, we get it. That's the reason why she's determined to be representing the black community, because she's quite in there, right? But she's not quite there yet. She's quite black, but she's not that black. She's quite palm-colored and she's not that palm-colored. So I get it. But it's always about your interest as a person, I guess. And that's what we always see in political figures nowadays, right? They always stand up for their political interests. And that's what we're seeing Amber here do. And we've talked about this in one of our videos where that sister shared a perspective on maybe Amber is just trying to pay her rentals, and you can quite understand that. Palm colors do it all the time. They go on the internet and rant about racial identification, racial biases, and seem to be sidelining their own community, right? While supporting the black community simply because they want to be looked at as advocates of peace and justice. Even though they don't really mean it at times, they just go there to create content and get a little money from TikTok, and that's it. In real life, they don't really represent what they're talking about, right? And that's the problem of media, I guess. So the Uncle Sam Harris campaign's senior spokesperson, Sarafina Chitika, is now speaking out against Rose. Amber Rose is right about one thing: research is important. Since we're talking about facts here, we brought receipts. Rose said American families were better off when the Trump train was president, and if she's talking about his billionaire donors, she's right. Chitika tells me in a statement. This was a reporter reporting this, but for black families and communities, it's the opposite story. Black unemployment, black uninsured rates, and crime rates skyrocketed under the Trump train's leadership, because the truth is simple: the Trump train doesn't care about us, our lives, or our livelihoods. I'm not really sure if Miss Chitika is a palm-color woman or a black woman, but she further says a vote for the Trump train is a vote to line the pockets of millionaires like Rose at the expense of the actual black community, and those are the facts. The speaker lineup for the first night of the Republican National Convention, which is taking place in Milwaukee, also included U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn, Tim Scott, and Ron Johnson, and U.S. Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene, Wesley Hunt, and John James, along with a selection of governors and the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Now, this was after the Biden-Harris campaign blasted Amber Rose for supporting the Trump train. Right. They said he doesn't care about black communities, and they're talking about Amber just being in it for her pockets, right? She's just trying to get rich out of it, and if the Trump train wins, billionaires are going to get richer, because the Trump train has got billionaire donors that are going to benefit from this rally, because the Trump train is not putting in his own money, right? You know how campaigns work. So Amber Rose here also is just standing up on that podium, even though she's not in the mood for it, like Ice Spice on that stage, if you get what I mean. She's just simply doing it for the money. If she's not going to stand up on that stage, she's not going to be fed, she's not going to pay rent, she's not going to look good, yada, yada, yada. And the story goes on. Now, let's talk about Joy Reid's response to Amber Rose. So Reid questioned the choice of Rose by the right, noting she's a racially ambiguous. I don't want to say she's black because she has denied it. The anchor referenced Rose's past relationship with Kanye West, emphasizing her cultural ties with the black community despite her biracial identification. She further added, and to say that this is the person who is the endorser of the Trump train, who you should trust, when she won't even claim the culture that brought her to the table, I am dubious that this will work. I don't know anyone who takes their political cues from Amber Rose, but just in case you do, you might want to duplicate doing your own research, because she might not have it done thoroughly. And we all know that Amber Rose, after that, took to her social media and also replied. However, the post was deleted later that evening after internet detectives uncovered a February 2015 interview where she told Hot 97's Ebro in the Morning that, I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not. But she also denied those claims, right? She said that she's saying that she's biracial, right? So despite the controversy, Rose remains steadfast in her support for the Republican Party. Recently, she appeared in a pro-Trump rap video titled Trump Trump Baby, featuring Florida rapper Fogiato Blow and sampling Vanilla Ice's Ice Ice Baby, which premiered on Billboard earlier this month. And that's all for today. But like I said, political figures and anybody who's in it for the money, this is how it always turns out to be. But you can leave your thoughts in the comment section and tell me. Perhaps there are some people out there that think Amber Rose has the best interest of the black community. Please leave your thoughts in the comments and tell us why you think like that. But all in all, money rules the world. I'll see you in the next video. Signing off and take care.